morning, friends and fam. Welcome to another midweek tax help. I'm Latoya Tillett, owner of Tax Plus Financial Services, in conjunction with Tillett Realty Group and Tillett Capital. Okay, so I just wanted to pop in just to check in on everybody, see how everything went with this past tax season. Please forgive my dog if you hear him crying in the background. I had to put him in the other room so we can get this video done. He's brand new, so forgive him if you hear him in the background. Anywho, as you all know, the deadline to file your taxes or an extension was last week on May 17th. So I hope you all got your taxes submitted on time or got your extension submitted on time. So then that way you can go ahead and take your time and get your taxes and everything prepared as accurately as possible. So I just kind of wanted to pop in just to see pretty much how everybody's doing. You know, how did you feel about this past tax season? It was just so many new things coming out, and things were changing right in the midst of actual tax season. Usually everything happens at the beginning and we know what's going to happen by the time tax season starts, but this year was a little different. So, you know, we started off one way, then things started changing. They started giving extra credits in the middle of tax season. People had already filed their taxes. Now they have to wait and see if they're going to get a check back. You know, those who did wait a little bit, they were able to take advantage of those like the exemption for the unemployment. They were able to take advantage of that during this actual tax season instead of having to wait to see if they're going to get anything back. So with that being said, I just wanted to give a few tips, well, more than a few, some tips on how you could better plan for next tax season. So as you may know, a lot of us had some extra time, or we learned from the pandemic that we actually needed to get more streams of income going, or start a business, or make something that's a little bit more sustainable, because a lot of people lost jobs and everything. So that gave you the opportunity to consider what type of business you would want to start. So with that being said, I know a lot of us did start businesses this year, or maybe last year as well, but especially for this year, I want to help you guys plan a little bit better as you go forward, either in your current business or in your brand new business. So the number one thing I want you guys to do is to mark your calendar for your tax filing and payment deadlines. Okay, so if you operate an LLC, an S Corp, C Corporation, or that type of an entity, and you're payrolling yourself, which is a pretty good idea to do. If you're going to payroll yourself, make sure you make note of the dates that the quarterly tax returns are due. Those are due once every 3 months at the end of every quarter. So you're going to have to do 4 of those for this year. So, and they're called, for California, I know for sure. I'm not sure for other states, but I know for California, it's the 940, 941. Okay, so make sure you mark your calendar. Also, specifically talking to my California business owners, if you filed an LLC this year, a corporation, or you're electing to be filed as an S Corp, please keep in mind that when you set up your entity, you have until the 15th day of the 4th month after your date of business is filed, or after the date that your business has started. So if you started your business, let's say we're in May right now. So let's say you started your business this month. Not necessarily that you started it this month, but let's say your incorporation date has a May date on it. You have 4 months. So that's starting from May. So May, so you have June, July, August, September. By September 15th, you must pay your $800 franchise tax fee. It is due in advance, not in arrears like our regular personal tax returns, okay? So keep that in mind with business entities, especially if you're here in California. Other states, like I know Delaware, has a $300 franchise tax fee that has to be paid, and some of the other states may vary. A lot of states don't have a franchise tax that has to be paid, but please pay attention to your state and know which one you have to do. So if you are required to file any state or pay any state franchise tax fees, please make sure that you are marking your calendars for that and that you're on time with those payments. Failure to make those payments can cause suspension of your corporation or your LLC. Okay, just to put that out there so you're mindful of that. Also, sorry, lost my train of thought. Anywho, also another thing you want to kind of focus on and pay attention to is keeping all of your receipts. So please keep all your receipts. Scan them, because that will be the best way to keep track of them. It's always good to try to hold on to the originals, but we all know certain receipt papers, the ink fades over time. So, as soon as you get it, maybe get a software like TaxBot or some other type of expense tracking software that you can use. I personally use TaxBot because you can snap that receipt right away and have that and file that in your folder, in your expense folder. So you know what it was for. It asks you questions. It answers all of the IRS questions like, what was it for? Where was it? Who was it with? What was the reason? Okay. So those are the questions that you always want to ask yourself when you're doing these. And also, I don't know if you've heard, I did put it out there, but for those of you who didn't hear or didn't know about this, the IRS is now allowing 100% deduction of meals paid to restaurants. You hear me? 100%. Normally, when you would do meals and entertainment as one of your categorizations, when you're filing your tax return, they would only give you about 50% of what you spent. So if you spent $1,000, they're only gonna give you a $500 deduction. They are starting from this year through the end of 2022. You get 100% deduction on meals spent or meals or fees or monies paid to restaurants, as long as the business owner was present or an employee of the business was present at that meal. Okay, so this doesn't mean just go out there and start being all lavish and everything, eating lobster and steak and crab legs every single day. But if that's the kind of clientele that you're usually entertaining, then that's fine. As long as you can explain it to the IRS, should you ever get audited, you will be fine. Documentation is everything. Documentation is key to keep yourself out of trouble with the IRS. So the more documentation you have, the better. So also make a note of who you had lunch with. Also, make a note on it if you discussed any type of business, because normally you have 24 hours. Within any 24-hour period that you've discussed business and you go to some types of restaurant or some type of entertainment, like some people go play golf, or they'll do some business and say, okay, one of the activities is going to be miniature golf or something like that. Those are things that can be written off as long as it's happening within the 24-hour period of you doing business or talking business with that person. Okay, these are just some little helpful tips that aren't normally known to most of the general public or business owners. A lot of business owners who are very savvy or have very savvy CPAs or tax preparers do know this. So I'm telling all of my newbies out there who are just getting started in this business world, definitely you want to keep track of your receipts. You want to keep track of any expense that you spend in your business, which leads me to my next category. Categorization is everything. Okay, categorize your expenses. The IRS allows up to $5,000 of startup expenses in just a general line item. If you don't know what a line item is, in accounting, that's what we call it, a line item. So you have these different lines of your expenses. So we could just group it all. We can go startup expenses, $5,000. You could just do that right off, no problem, no questions asked. You can do that when you're starting a new business. But let's say you start a business where you spent more than $5,000. You need to categorize it, and then you can write off everything. Okay, so let's say you spent $10,000 starting your business. You need to have it categorized what you spent that on. If it was marketing, websites, business cards, filing your LLC or your corporation or whatever entity that you started, your DBAs, anything, your accounting software, or paying your accountant or paying an attorney, anything that you did, categorize those line items out, and you'll be able to write off all of those deductions. Okay, so make sure you categorize everything and keep those receipts. Also, make sure you're using some type of an accounting software. You can use QuickBooks. QuickBooks is fairly easy for most new beginners, unless you're like me. I tend to work better with more difficult things, so easy things are hard for me. I don't know why. That's just me. So, but I have learned how to use QuickBooks over time and everything. So it's really not that difficult, but it's such a simple program. I just felt that it was missing something. So, definitely use some type of accounting software. You could do QuickBooks, you could use the Excel spreadsheet. There's templates inside of Excel that help you, like profit and loss, balance sheets, different things like that. It's a little bit more daunting, a little bit more time consuming, especially because you're going to have to be going through your bank accounts and your receipts and everything and making sure everything lines up within the Excel spreadsheet. So, I have a few different models that I could possibly share if that's something that you needed. So yes, definitely make sure you use some type of accounting software. If you're small and you're not doing a whole lot of business, you could definitely start with Excel spreadsheets. That'll be easy enough for you to get done. But if you're moving into larger production and larger things, definitely either get a bookkeeper or a CPA or someone who has some type of accounting software, or if you're savvy enough to do your own accounting, make sure you use some type of accounting software to get that completed. All right. Single member LLCs, you must file income and losses on a Schedule C of the 1040. What does that mean? I think I spoke about it before. When you start an LLC is generally a partnership, and it's a hybrid of a corporation and a sole proprietorship. And so you need to have a partner in order to file the federal form. If you do not have a partner in your LLC and you are the only owner, the only managing owner of the LLC, you have to file it on your Schedule C of your 1040, but you still have to file your state form if your state requires it. I know for California for sure, you still will have to file your state form to pay your $800, okay? And so also make sure you keep that in mind. And so the drawback to that of having an LLC and being a single member of an LLC is that when you're filing it on your Schedule C, you don't get necessarily the full amount of deductions that you could get if you elect to file as either an S Corp or a C Corp. That's also something you could do, but that's saved for another topic. We go into that in more detail because we could talk all day about entity filings and how they work. Okay, so I'll do some more videos around that just to help you get a little bit more prepared for the next upcoming tax season for, all my new business owners or those that just need a refresher, because, everybody needs a refresher every now and again, even I do. All right. Another thing that you could do, I did a 3-part series on putting your children on payroll. You could pay your children up to $12,000 tax-free as a sole proprietor, to help write off and lessen your tax liability. So I went into detail a little bit more on that in the 3-part series. So make sure you check out those videos. It's called Putting Your Child on Payroll. It's parts 1, 2, and 3. And of course, if you need a more in-depth conversation about it, feel free to reach out to me, 909-494-2280. Okay. And last but not least, please consult with a reputable CPA or registered tax preparer if you're not sure what you're doing. It's not a good idea to try and practice on yourself unless you aspire to be a tax preparer like I did. I started off doing my own tax returns. I used to go to other people to get my tax returns done, and they would always come back wrong, or there would be something messed up, or I would end up owing, and I'm like, I don't think I should owe. And so I started learning how to do taxes myself, and then I went to school to get the certification to do and prepare tax returns. And once I understood the anatomy of an actual 1040 and how it works and how all the schedules play in together, then I was able to start doing my own tax returns more accurately. And I have never, well, I'm not gonna say I never owed again, because we ended up owing when my husband had his eBay business, but that was different. That's just because he made so much money with it. But I've never had like a problem with getting the tax returns filed or anything like that, and getting refunds, things. So that's kind of how I got started. Sorry, had a call coming through. So that's kind of how I got started in the tax business, is by doing my own tax returns. And then, started to talk to coworkers, talking to friends, started doing friends, then family started coming. And then eventually I just was like, let me go ahead and get certified for this so that I can help more people, because I feel like everyone should be able to save money. When it comes to your tax returns. I mean, you have big corporations and you have these huge billionaires and millionaires that are doing this every day, and they're making tons of money, and they're paying little to no taxes in most cases because they know how to strategize and they know where to put things, and they have people around them that know how to categorize their expenses and how to organize their tax strategies to ensure that they're paying as little as possible to, as they call Uncle Sam, you know? And so why can't we do the same thing? So that's why I'm here sharing this information with you so you can become a more savvy business owner, okay? And what else did I want to talk to you guys about? That's pretty much it. You definitely want to keep orderly records. That's going to save your life if you ever find yourself facing an IRS tax audit. Trust me, if you don't have your paperwork together, you can't find things. You know, stuff is just all in disarray. You're definitely going to have a hard time with the IRS, and they are going to throw the book at you, literally, okay? And you will end up owing tons of money that you don't want to pay or can't afford to pay. So to avoid that, the best thing to do is to keep orderly records, okay? So I just wanted to kind of let you guys know, you know, give you guys some ideas of how you can plan better for next tax season, just so that you're prepared and that you're ready, especially those of us who created new businesses over the last year or two, okay? Another thing, I want to give a shout out to the Southern California Black Chamber of Commerce. They have a Young Black Entrepreneurship Workshop happening on, let me get the dates for you. Let me see, what's the day? On August 28th, Saturday, August 28th. So it's from 8:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. It's a free one-day workshop for the first 30 registered youth. I just want to give them that shout out. If you want more information about that, feel free to reach out to me. You can either send me a message in Messenger, or you can text me at 909-494-2280. Let me know that you're interested in your child attending the Young Black Entrepreneurs Workshop. It's really good. It's for children that are between 15 and 18 years old, because some children, or a lot of us, we get the entrepreneur bug early. Like my daughter is currently 15. She's doing nails. She did my beautiful lashes. I know I rubbed off a couple, but that's okay. But my daughter is, you know, she's wanting to have her own business. She's feeling like, you know, that's what's for her. She's already mastered how to do makeup. She's got that down. She's mastering the individual lashes, because she already knew how to do lashes before, but now she's doing the individual lashes. So that's what I have on right now. So this is one of her business ventures. She's teaching herself how to do nails, because she went to the nail shop and she didn't appreciate the amount that she had to pay and didn't receive the service that she wanted, or get the nails the way that she wanted. So she decided, I'm going to learn how to do this myself. And then now she's gotten good enough to where she's like, okay, now I can do other people's nails and I can make money. I can do other people's lashes and make money. So, you know, I said all that to say, with some of us, when we're young, that's when the entrepreneur bug bites us. And that's when they need to be in front of people who can show them the way. You can teach them so much, but then let them see from other people who are doing things, maybe from an industry perspective, that they want to go in. Like me, I do real estate and taxes. My kids don't necessarily want to do real estate and taxes. My daughter wants to do nails and not hair. She doesn't want to do hair, but she wants to do nails and eyelashes and makeup. Okay, that's fine. She wants to do more cosmetic type things. I have a son that's more interested in singing and acting. And my younger son, he's totally into cars. So they're not always going to go into the business that you're in, but they still learn from you because they see you doing it. My husband is a flooring contractor. None of the kids want to go into flooring, but just so you understand, when you have two entrepreneurs in the household, or even one, your kids look up to you and they're watching and they're learning. And so sometimes the bug strikes them and, you know, they're like, I have to start my own business. Like, why would I go apply at McDonald's and work fast food when I can make so much money doing this? And my daughter's going to be taking her individual lash certification. Okay. And with that, lash techs can make over $500 in a day just with a few clients. And so she thought that was smarter to do because it's something she actually likes to do. instead of going to work in fast food or, work somewhere where she wouldn't enjoy it. So just wanted to put that out there. Once again, that's Saturday, August 28th from 8:30 a.m. to 3:30. Southern California Black Chamber of Commerce is putting this event on. You can also visit the website, blackchamberofcommerce.org. And that's all spelled out, blackchamberofcommerce.org. Okay, so make sure you check that out. If you have any kids that are interested in getting into business, no matter which realm, feel free to check in with the Southern California Black Chamber of Commerce and see what they have going on. They are really instrumental in building up our youth and building up our business owners. So make sure you take a look at that. So that's all I have for you for this midweek tax help. Since tax season is kind of literally over, even though it's not all the way over for me because I have some folks that did extensions. Now that it's over, I'm still going to continue bringing you videos. I'm going to be bringing you more videos in regards to real estate, investing, and how that helps you with your tax situation as well, and different ways that you can save on taxes in those different vehicles, okay? And will help you, of course, get prepared for the upcoming tax season. So that's all I have for you today. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for listening. And once again, I'm Latoya Tillett, owner of Tax Plus Financial Service, also with Tillett Realty Group and Tillett Capital. So definitely want to teach you guys a little bit more about investing and using different tax shelters to defer some of those taxes when you're buying and selling properties. Ooh, that's going to be so fun. Alrighty, great. Talk to you guys next week. Have a good one. Well, you can reach out to me on 909-494-2280. That is my cell phone number, my business cell phone number. You can use that number to reach out to me if you need a consultation or anything. Visit the website, taxplus-financialservices.com, all spelled out. Or feel free to send me a DM, either through Facebook or Instagram. On Instagram, we're Tax Plus Financial Services as well. So take a look and talk to you all soon.